Colleen Thomas. There is a war that has been planned for a long time. 70 years these guys have been planning. They did their trial run in Russia with communism, and then in Germany with Nazism, and then they brought it right here to America. And this is supposed to be their big grand finale, where they cull our numbers back, and they keep trying, but they keep failing. The H1N1 virus, SARS, all of those were biological attacks by the American shadow government, which is actually run by Draconians and Reptilians. It's all SS, okay? Secret Service, the Nazi SS. It's always SS with these guys. They're sons of Satan. That's why the Pope wears red shoes and sits on a throne that has an upside-down cross. They stand for everything that is the opposite of the light. They stand for everything that is the opposite of love. They have absolutely no compassion. They're sadists. They eat us. They sell us as meat on a black market of traveling reptilians on a route that every 50 years they stop by for bodies. So they have to create a war or a conflict or something, or an earthquake. They use HARP technology. Do you guys ever wonder why no bodies were recovered from Sumatra? It's because all those bodies were beamed off, okay? They were taken. They did not drown in that tsunami. They were taken, and that's why not one body was found washed up on shore. And nobody seems to ask questions like, where's all 150,000 people, I think, or something like that, went vanished off of that island. The animals were still around, but there were no people. Okay? You gotta understand what you're up against. These guys have spaceships, they have technology, and we are the ones who are like living in the dark here. However, the Pleiadians, the Syrians, the Andromedans, the Reticulums, there are entities from all over, not only this galaxy, but throughout the universe, who are here to help the humans overcome their reptilian infestation. And now, enough humans have asked for Pleiadian and Syrian intervention on this planet. We reached a tipping point where these guys now get to intervene. And now that I have gone on public airways earlier today, they are going to intervene in a very dramatic way. They're no longer observers on what's going on this planet. They are now participants. They incarnated here in waves and have been for 70 years. And in 1960, I was one of them. And all of us came in here on a mission. We actually designed it, custom made, what we were going to do while we were here. And my mission was to blow the whistle on you guys. You guys were lied to. You were played. And now the little game that's been played down here is about to end. Do not test the Pleiadians. They are not observers anymore, and neither are the Syrians. And the Bilderbergs, like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, they know it.
Well, we've been telling you recently about the bizarre cases of birds dying en masse. And when you look for answers, you find everything from alcohol to poison to the magnetic polar shifts of the Earth. In other words, no one really knows. But this evening here at RT, we're getting some new information about this. I just spoke to Colleen Thomas from Roseville, California. Colleen is a home health administrator turned physicist who specializes in the science of creation. She's also part of a race of good aliens who reside right here on Earth called the Pleiadians. Here's part of our conversation.
The official story that was released from Pine Bluff, Arkansas was that the plane, the KC-747, that flew out of Little Rock, Arkansas, had a computer malfunction that caused the spraying. It sprayed along the Arkansas River and up the I-40 corridor, and they do admit that that's what happened. But I've talked to independent people who said they've had these birds tested and they weren't positive for phosgene, which to me they wouldn't be, because once phosgene meets with any kind of a fluid, it turns into a nondescript acid. So it doesn't surprise me that they're not finding evidence of phosgene, because it breaks down so easily and so quickly in liquid.
And as you mentioned, I mean, these birds were found everywhere from Arizona to Arkansas. I'm wondering what you say to those people who say, there's a lot of people here on Earth, not Pleiadians, but others. They say, the world is going to end in May.
No.
They say we've got 5 more months, and that's what these birds are all about. What's your response to those people?
Well, we are under attack, but we do know who's attacking us. The Evergreen International Aviation Company is an arm of the CIA. It's a private industry with these wide-body jets for spraying, ostensibly for spraying fire retardants over fires, but they're spraying a lot more than that right now. They have 100 bases across, I think, our country, 4,500 employees. This is owned by a guy named Delford Smith, who is in collusion with the CIA. The evidence of that is also on the Morning Liberty Show website, morninglibertyshow.com. And, I mean, this is where all reporters need to go to get a clearinghouse of information, because this guy has been doing the hard work, Mr. Robert Hinder.
And I know, Colleen, that you have a YouTube channel, and you said that some of this information that you've been gathering has been coming in through some of your contacts. Are you hearing this from a lot of people, or is this just 1 or 2 people telling you this?
My phone blows up almost 24/7. People calling me, not only from all over America, but from Holland, from Ireland, from Germany, and in Asian countries as well. This is a global attack. We are under a global attack right now, and it's serious.
So why aren't we seeing this more, when we turn on the TV? Why aren't more people talking about this?
Well, realize that the media is owned by concerns that are connected and in favor with the UN and the New World Order. So that's why we're not hearing about it. That information is being cleaned from the public eye.
What is your hope in terms of coming on and talking to us about this? What do you think people should absolutely be aware of?
They need to be aware that protecting their body and their health is actually very simple. This is an acid like any other acid, so it takes something basic into your body like baking soda and water. An Epsom salt bath will leach these acids out through your skin. You can rid yourself of the symptoms of this hacking cough and the internal upset. When they swallow this stuff, they get nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and internal bleeding, and everybody's being misdiagnosed and sent home, including people with Morgellons disease, which is the fibers from the chem spraying that's been going on for at least 10 years.
But what about the birds? I mean, if we gave them baking soda and water, could they have been saved?
And not that fast. They're too small. The dose was too heavy, or they were hit with microwaves and killed instantly by HAARP. Whatever the cause was for them, they're too little. They're like the canary in the coal mine. They're the warning that we're being poisoned to death. But we're taking in a little bit every day. The places that are being sprayed daily. These chemtrails, these fog trails, they're everywhere, and you can smell it on the ground when you go out in the morning. Phosgene smells like fresh cut grass. If you ever walked outside and it smelled like somebody just mowed the lawn, but yet the lawn hadn't been mowed and you were puzzled about that, or went out to your cornfields and you're smelling hay like somebody just cut hay, that's phosgene.
Do you think, Colleen, that the government is aware that you're, coming out and talking about these things?
Yes, I have been harassed. My home was broken into. My ability to upload videos was interfered with. They caused 3 panels. They affected 3 panels that bring internet into my home. Mine was the only one affected, and when my provider tried to get me back with a new ISP address, because I was erased from their system, they couldn't even assign me a new address. So that computer system had been hacked at Sure West as well. It was quite a sophisticated hit.
Do you think anyone cares that? I mean, in terms of the government, do you think they care that they're hurting and killing these animals?
No, no one realizes it's the human beings that are really the target, but so is the ecosystem. All of the natural gas drilling, they're using a fracking fluid that dissolves solid rock and allows methane to bubble up right through the groundwater and through the soil.
That was Colleen Thomas, our contact with the Pleiadians.
We told you about a possible missile, rocket, or maybe airplane that was seen off the coast of California on Monday. Today, there still aren't many answers as to what it actually was, but one woman says she has some answers. You'd be surprised to find out where she's getting her information from. Colleen Thomas is a home health administrator turned physicist who specializes in the science of creation. And she's the mother of a race of good aliens here on Earth called Pleiadians. She says she knows exactly what happened with that missile, and she joins me now from Roseville, California. Colleen, thanks so much for joining me. First of all, tell me what you know about what happened with that supposed missile.
It was I got in my ear, as it were, as I was sleeping, that it was a missile fire, President Obama trying to start a war with Iran. The Pleiadians downed the missile harmlessly at sea, and then last night from San Diego, our government fired another ICBM at the Pleiadians this time. But the Pleiadians' ships are able to change density and do all kinds of things that these guys on this planet have never imagined. And a rocket could pass right through them and not harm them. And plus, they can outrun it too if they wanted to just get out of the way. But it's really kind of silly to think that we can take on a race that's been around for many, many, many millions of eons longer than the reptilians.
And really briefly, Colleen, some people might not know exactly who the Pleiadians were, so why would President Obama want to fire an ICBM at the Pleiadians?
Because they're here to rescue the human beings who are being enslaved on this planet and forced into a paradigm of a super oligarchy that favors the Bilderberg Group and the Illuminati and is completely and utterly without any conscience towards the human beings whatsoever. They poison us deliberately in order for us to have to buy pharmaceuticals so that they can string our miserable little lives along on pharmaceuticals for the rest of our, aging days. There's no need for us to be in the kind of physical condition that we are in, but they put chemtrails in collusion with BP, British Petroleum. They put chemicals in jet fuel, and those chemicals end up getting sprayed in these minute particulates that rain down on our food, on our crops, and in our water. There's lithium in those chemtrails. There's also fluoride and a lot of other heavy metals that are dispersed in the air as chaff, so that the American government can talk to one another militarily without being listened in upon by other foreign countries. They know this stuff is toxic for us, but there's money in toxifying us, and so they work in collusion with the pharmaceutical companies with these backdoor deals, changing the laws and making everything favorable for these guys, but not favorable for the humans whatsoever. Humans are just commerce to these people, and they're also meat to these people. They not only kill and eat us, they sell our dead bodies on a meat market of their own kind that goes passing by here every 50 years, and I got that straight from a CIA agent.